Bam! Jayson Waller here with the BAM Podcast. That's right, Business and Money Podcast. You want to make money? You want to conquer business? You want to go ahead and get that mindset right to take you to the next level and level up? You got to listen to the show. We're going to have all kinds of guests on there, billionaires, millionaires, athletes, actors, you name it. We're going to have them on here. They're going to be talking about their success, their struggles, their life, their hardship. I'm going to talk about my success, my struggle, my life, my hardship. So tune in. Bam! I'm Jayson Waller here with the BAM Podcast. That's business, attitude, and money. And I've got an icon here, dude. This guy is as real as it gets. Love this dude. We chatted a few times in Cali. We have mutual friends. His story is amazing. He has got one of the best voices on any kind of stage, app, podcast, you name it. This guy is the man's man. I love this man right here. Glenn Lundy, how you doing, brother?
Bro, I've been waiting for this day for years, it feels like, man. I don't even know. I can't even tell you how many times we're like, okay, we're doing this day, and then this came up, and then this came up. You had things come up. I had things come up. So I'm like, let's go. And then, of course, today, man, my whole studio gets shut down right in the middle. I'm like, nah, man, we are not.
We're still doing this. Good. I'm glad because I was excited. Today. I usually don't get super. I mean, no offense to the other guests out there, but I was excited about this because there was so much buildup, right? Like you said, like we were talking about it so many times, and then it was like, when is this going to happen, right? And then finally it happens. It's like, oh, here we are.
It's like we've been dating for years, and now we finally get to make it happen, bro.
Bam, we got it done. Listen, for the listeners out there that don't know, like, I met Glenn through my old mentor and coach who I love very much, David Meltzer, who's been on the show a few times. And, I met Glenn in California, and I was a big fan of his already on Clubhouse. When Clubhouse is still hot. I haven't been on it in a while. I just told Glenn, hey, I got to get back on. I need some steam over there. Help me out, brother. But he was out there, and he was hosting this morning show that was just amazing. And he had icons on there just talking business with him and helping people out and serving, the Grant Cardones and other folks on there just crushing it. And it was like, Glenn gets it. But when you guys get to hear some of Glenn's story, it's going to be amazing. But I'm super excited. I'm super excited to share some of your stories. You just won a speaking event at the 10X, which was huge. Man. Congrats.
Yeah. Thank you.
Honor, and Glenn is a motivational speaker, but I want people to understand who you are right now, what you're doing right now. You got your shirt right there showing the 800 Elite Automotive Group right there that you manage and you've got going on. Look at that. Love the tat. So talk about in a 90-second commercial, who you are, what you got going on. And then I want to jump back so they understand how the hell you got there and who you really are before that.
Yeah, totally, man. So I am a husband to 1. I am a father to 8. I got 8 babies. 8
babies. Still baffles me, dude. That's crazy.
I got 8 babies, and I love every second of it, man. I got 6 little girls, 2 boys. I am the founder of Breakfast with Champions on Clubhouse, which was a daily morning show bringing you motivation, education, and inspiration, celebrity interviews, and thought-provoking conversations. I'm also the host of #RiseAndGrind, which is a daily morning show. And then I am the owner of the 800% Elite Automotive Club, where I do training and consulting for car dealership owners, general managers, and then down through their ranks with finance people, salespeople, et cetera, et cetera. And that's me in a nutshell, bro.
Dude, there's 8 babies, by the way. That's the most amazing thing in the world. So congrats about that. I've got 4 and thought I was a big dog, but
hey, I remember when I was a part-time dad, dude. I remember that.
Hey, well, all these listeners out here are like, holy shit, I'm really part-time. Most of them are gonna have 1, 2 babies, and you got 8. They're gonna be like, damn, this guy's been busy.
Hey, committed, bro. Committed.
That's right. Well, dude, but that's what we live for. We live to serve, and part of serving is having kids and making them better than we are, right? Like, I want to be better than my dad. Nothing wrong with my dad, but and I want my son to be better than me, and I want my daughters to be better than that's just it's the purpose, right? It's pushing it forward. And when I got to hear some of your story when I was in California, it was amazing. None of this was handed to you, by the way. Glenn had some major hardships, and I want you to talk into that because, you were homeless, you had all kinds of things going on. And your comeback story is amazing. In my old show, True Underdog, it was a perfect fit. But the BAM podcast, it's a perfect fix. It's business, attitude, and money. And that's really where you're at now in life. But I want to talk about, several years back before you had all these great things going on. What was life like?
Yeah, I look at it this way, Jason. Like there's really been two major seasons of life for me, right? Like obviously there's tons of seasons, but there's been two major seasons. There's a season of life where I was living what I call a 2D existence, mind and body. If it looked good and it felt good, the answer was yes. Okay. And then there's the season of life I'm in now, which is a 3D existence, which is mind, body, spirit, right? If it looks good and it looks good and it feels good and it is good, right? It benefits others as well, not just me. Then the answer is yes. And in that first season of my life, I had a very Darwinistic approach, survival of the fittest type deal. If I got over on you, that was your fault, not my fault, right? And that's really kind of how I looked at things. And living life that way, I burned a lot of bridges, moved from a lot of different towns, was in and out of jail. I've been to jail 17 different times. And ultimately, man, that just living life that way, I ran out of people to take advantage of. I ran out of people that were willing to open doors for me. And that's how I ended up homeless, man, over there on the beaches of San Diego, California, right? And I spent a little season of life homeless. And the craziest part, Jason, about homelessness is most people think it sucks that you don't have any money. Most people think it sucks you don't have food or a place to sleep. But the worst part about homelessness is you become like invisible, right? Mm. People won't make eye contact with you. You just can become kind of sort of the part of the background. And so they'll look above you and below you, to the left of you, to the right of you, but no one will look at you and no one ever says your name. Dude, it's awful.
Oh, I couldn't imagine.
And so that feeling, that invisible feeling, led to hopelessness. Hopelessness led to depression, like deep depression. And then the depression led to suicidal thoughts. Suicidal thoughts led to a suicide attempt. And I actually attempted to take my own life in the Pacific Ocean just off the coast of La Jolla, California. But luckily for me, God plucked me up out of the ocean and taught me something in that very moment, Jason, that I love sharing with people. I was laying on the beach. Just picture this, right? Like here I am. I failed again, right? I'm failing at everything in life. I try to take my own life. And here I am, failed again, laying on the beach just after attempting something really catastrophic. And I'm laying there and I hear these words. Hear is such a weird word, but you know what I mean? I hear these words. I hear, you take yourself wherever you go. And these are words that an old mentor used to tell me all the time in my early 20s, but I never had any idea what he was talking about. I'm like, what do you mean you take yourself wherever you go? You're talking to me like you're some mystic or something. I don't know what the heck you're talking about. But I realized in that moment exactly what he meant, because I flashed back and looked through my life, and I lived in different cities. I had different friends. I worked in different places. I hung out in different bars. Like everything was different around me. There was only one constant in every negative situation in my life, and it was me. You take yourself wherever you go. And so I realized in that moment, like, wait a minute, dude, I am not a victim to society. I thought I was a victim, right? I thought the police were out to get me. My skin color was wrong. Like all these things. I had this total victim mentality. And I realized, no, I'm the catalyst for all things negative in my life. And so that brought up the question, well, if I'm the catalyst of all things negative, does that mean I can be a catalyst for positive things in my life? And that's when I made that shift, man, from 2D living to 3D living. And now I spend every day just trying to learn more about who I am, whose I am, what am I capable of, what's my full potential, how can I bring more good to the world, man, make a positive impact in other people's lives. And that was 15 years ago now, 16 years ago. Yeah. And the world's a whole different place now than it was then, man.
The world is different. It's amazing that, you talk about you failed at all these things and you failed at suicide. And I've heard that before from other people. right? And I think that's God's way, or whatever people believe in, of really helping you see or wake up to what's really you're intended to do. And people say you got to hit rock bottom sometimes to understand and learn, and then start to become who you're intended to be. And for you to change that mindset from being victim, right, is so big, because I think in today's world it's even worse with the victim. Like, I coach youth football, and I've got kids, and I have a very diverse team on purpose. My kid is a great kid, but he's a white kid in a suburban life, not used to diverse situations. So I purposely coach other kids outside the community and bring them together for unity, so it's diverse, so they can learn from each other, right? Some kids have it hard, and they can be around kids where it's soft. Some kids have it soft, they can be around kids where it's hard. And they're doing that. And I get one or two kids out of the group of 15, 16 kids, which I love coaching, that play victim, right? Doesn't matter. One's white, one's black. That's irrelevant. They literally play victim. And their own moms come to me and are like, Jayson, like, I know you do a lot of this in life and help people and coach and stuff. And we listen to your podcast or whatever, but my son's struggling at school and he's punching a kid in the face, or my son's doing this. I don't know what to do. His dad's not around. So I have to take these young men and I have to talk to them like, guys, you're not a victim. Like, you're breathing. You have every opportunity every other kid on this field has, every other those kids have. It's all here. It's the cards you're dealt. You've got to play them. And so when I hear you transition that mindset, and you have 8 beautiful babies that you brought into the world, that you're teaching the mindset of, hey, look, you're not a victim. The world is an oyster for you to go out and get what you want. It's so inspiring, Glenn, because there are people out there that still live in this victim mentality, and it's leaking into our youth. Right?
Yeah. I mean, I agree 800%, right? 800%.
800%. I love that.
Oh yeah. But what's kind of fascinating around that is, I do believe that everyone's got their own kind of journey to get to that awareness space. And the season of victimhood, right? For some, that's a shorter season. For some, it's a longer season. Regretfully, some people go through their whole life in that, right? Thinking that they're a victim. And so you can never blame you can't blame the victim for what they don't know, right? I feel like it's our responsibility, those of us that have had that opportunity to come out of that and to have the mud cleared from our eyes. I feel like it's our responsibility to reach out and like grab more, like what you're doing with the coaching, man. Grab more of these kids and say, hey, look, man, I know the world is telling you that you are a pawn, that you are a victim, that you are that your results are based on an environment or things out of your control. But the reality is, right, you are a child of God, man. You are powerful. You are a victor. You can create. It will take work. It will take discipline. It will take time. It will take energy. It's going to take all those things. But if you're willing to put them in, dude, there's nothing you can't do, nothing you can't achieve, right? So I think that there are a lot of people out there that lack someone in their life to bring the awareness to the forefront. And a lot of people are afraid in today's society to really look somebody in the eye and be like, look, dude, you're playing the freaking victim card, and that's not how you're going to get ahead. Like, people are afraid, man. People just go shelter. They go hide, They don't want to post how they feel on social media. They don't want to say, they're afraid they're going to get canceled. Nobody wants to talk and tell people the truth. Yeah. And so that's where I'm at on all that, man, is I wish more people who have had this opportunity, like you and me, would go out there and grab as many as you can. Let's grab as many as we can, right? And pull them out of the freaking fire, because it's ugly out there right now, man.
It is. And it's so It's so unfortunate, but you're right that they don't know what they don't know, and they're stuck with the mud
Right.
on their eyes, right? And it feels good to help when you see a difference, when you see a kid. You know, one of the comments we brought up, we got smoked in a game Saturday. I mean, we got smoked, and we've been undefeated all season. And we went in thinking we're going to blow this team out. We beat 58-14, and then we're going to play in the championship game. We're like, we got this. My fault as a leader, went in there too arrogant. Kids went in there too arrogant. Then when they started stumbling, I'm frustrated. I'm uptight. They're frustrated. They're uptight. They're pointing fingers at each other. They're getting mad at each other. I'm like getting frustrated. Hey guys, listen. And now I've lost control. It starts with me,
Right.
right?
Right.
So what do I do Sunday? It's kind of like what you're talking about. I go back to my son, and he's the quarterback, and he's like, you know, he's been great all year. 20 touchdowns, 2 picks. All of a sudden, he has a game 3-3, right? And he's like, you know, and he's pissed off. He's wanting to fight the other team like it's bad. And I'm like, relax. So we get in the car, and I go, look, it's the next day. We're going. It's a different league we're in. 5 of the same kids are over there. The kind of these 5 or 6 kids, we kind of stay together for, you know, keeping our
Right.
group together with different cities that we play in for ball, and we're on our way. And I go, listen, son, I need you to be a Ray Lewis type leader out there today. Like, we're playing a tough team. We're undefeated. This team's undefeated. You know, I know you used to be on this team. There's a lot of animosity with the coaches, but I need you to get the team so fired up. We're going to talk about encouragement. And I was like, do you know what word is in the word encouragement? He goes, courage. I said, exactly. And I need
That's
you
right.
to help me get those kids the courage to win, the courage to not quit, and encouraging people when they're struggling, encouraging people when they drop the ball, encouraging people when they don't run the route, encouraging people when they make a mistake is going to give them the courage to go dominate the next time. And he did that. And we went in there, and we're playing music. I said, guys, we're not going to play tight. We're going to play loose. We're going to have fun. We're going to do this. We end up whipping the brakes off that other team. And that team was
Nice.
supposed to beat us. We beat them 35-9. We're celebrating, high five. We're getting kids that have never scored before scoring. Parents are screaming. We got a kid doing backflips after the game. I mean, so good. But the biggest takeaway is my son listened. He was out there firing up that team. And if somebody made a mistake, he's like, hey, encouragement, baby. I'm encouraging you to have the courage to crush it the next play. And they stayed on that. And it's the impact that you have in your Breakfast of Champions and some of the things that I've been on. I hear people that are going through depression, or I hear people that are going and struggling with their business, or their doors are about to close, so they don't know how to get to the next level, or even people that you work with in your 800 club. Like, people struggle all the time. And one of the things, because you've been there and you've been able to reverse that mindset that you share, you get them to break through that. You get them to understand that, hey, it's not over yet. You're still going. You still got time to fix this. It's like, you've been to jail 17 times. I didn't know that about you. I knew the homeless thing. You're living a great life. You're living the life you're intended to now. It's always recoverable. And I think that's what listeners, that's what folks watching this, that's what all these people need to hear, is that it's never too late, right?
Never too late. You can always recover. And I think an important aspect of that is to also know and understand that no one's going to do it for you, though. And it doesn't require anyone on the outside to do it either, right? A lot of people think, well, if I could get, if so-and-so would do this for me, if I could get that opportunity, if the person would open the door, if I that. And the reality is, dude, this hit me, Jayson, a little while ago. It blew my mind. That's what that is. That door's open over there. I'm like, why do I keep hearing noise out there? Hold on, let me. Michael Cirillo. Will you do me a favor, Mike? Will you shut that door? I didn't realize I kept getting sound. We're not actually using this mic; it's using this.
Hey, what movie is this? Mom,
yeah,
Meatloaf. I don't know what she's doing up there.
Was that a movie or is that?
That's a movie. That's Wedding Crashers.
Oh, from
Will
Wedding
Ferrell,
Crashers.
remember, he's downstairs. He's yelling, "Mom, Meatloaf!"
Yes,
and
that's right.
That's
right.
A funeral where he hits on chicks. Yeah, sorry. Every time someone yells in the background, I think of that.
Right. Thank you, Michael. But no, man. I realized something a while ago that was really profound, man. For me, it might not mean crap to anybody else, but it meant something to me. I realized that we are born with the exact same 10 fingers and 10 toes that we die with. The same ones, bro. Genetically, nothing ever changes. in us. We're born with the same genes that we die with, right? It never changes. Now, our bodies grow, we gain weight, we get taller, so on and so forth. But you were born with everything that you will ever have, right? There's
Yeah.
nothing on the outside that determines how far you can go. It's all right here, man. It's these hands, these feet, this brain, this genetic makeup. What can I do with the cards that I'm dealt? And to me, that was because I used to think I needed something on the outside to reach high, bro. But really, we were all born with everything we will ever use our entire life. I will only use these two hands to create. My entire life, I will only use these 2 feet to travel, to walk, to run, to jump. Like, it will only be the things that were given to me in the beginning that I will take with me through my entire life, bro.
Yeah.
And to me, that's empowering to know that we were given all the tools we needed to create, dude, at whatever level. Elon, 2 hands, 2 feet. Donald, 2 hands, 2 feet, right? Bezos, 2 hands, 2 feet. Oprah, 2 hands, 2 feet. Beyonce, 2 hands, 2 feet, and a great pair of lungs. Like she's a singing son of a gun.
Michael Jordan,
right?
he's got special feet, but yes, 2 hands, 2 feet.
Hey, 2 hands, but the same ones he was born with
Yeah.
are the same ones that carried him to 6 championships, right? And so that's a message that came through strong for me later in my kind of late 30s.
It's a great message if you think about it that way. That's huge. That's a great way to look at it.
You got it all, bro. You've had it all your whole life. What are you going to do with it?
And too many people look for something to be better. They do. And we go through these, you call them seasons, phases, seasons, whatever, where, I always say people go through phases, right? Phase 1 could be a hater phase where they're just, everyone else's success is their failure, and their failure is why everyone else is successful, and they don't like to see people and champions win, and they're always, oh, that person lost weight because they did this, oh, they have that because they probably did something wrong. They're always glass half empty, very negative, pessimistic type personality, right? I know that I've been in that stage before in my life. It's an unhealthy stage. I've been there. I think most or all people have at one time. And then I say there's a second stage that's kind of like Homer Simpson, where it's intimidation, right? You don't hate, but you're not very confident. You kind of just hide behind the bushes like Homer Simpson, and you watch other people succeed, and you have some envy, kind of the wrong kind of envy, but you're not angry, but you have no confidence, and you're just insecure, so you don't throw yourself out there enough, and you miss a lot of opportunities. I know I've been in that phase. And then there's the phase that I call like the champion phase, where you love to see success. You love to see people champion and win. You love to learn from people. You love to have good envy. Like I love to be around people that are levels above me and equal to me and all over the place, so I can learn from them, and wow, that's interesting. Like, I love to see them win, and then I want to learn to win. And I think that, and then you're encouraging and you're elevating and you're helping people. And I go through these different phases. I talk about people, what phase, I question people all the time, are you in right now? When you're on social media and you're hating on people and you're bothered, you're in a wrong phase, your wrong state of mind. You've got to clear that up. And, you talking about, you got the same hands and the same feet and the same brain, no matter what. If more people would look at it, that they wouldn't compare themselves and have hate. They would understand what it is that you understand and I understand, and that we're trying to show other people that they need to understand, is that we all have God makes us. It's like a video game. He says, Glenn, you get 100 attributes. You're only going to be 5'10". Are you 5'10"?
I'm 6 foot tall.
Well, shit, you're bigger than me. You're going to be 6 foot tall. There you go. But you're going to be this speed and this intelligent. And what you like, he gives everybody attributes, right? And I always say, like, you see someone super big and super strong, they might not be the smartest. They might be the kindest, though. Like, you get attributes like a video game, in my opinion. And God truly makes everybody equal. And you have to find where your attributes, your skill sets are there to help you to be what you're intended to be.
Yeah,
and
no
that's
doubt,
the
man.
key, right? And people don't ever look at it. They're like, oh, that person's third list. Yeah, but whatever they've got that you don't, you have something they don't got. And that's important to know. And you got to love yourself for that.
I love that, man. And if you think about it from a video game too, right? I used to be a gamer. Nowadays, I don't have time to play any more games, but I used to play a lot of games. And in all those games with attributes like that, there are ways to level up each of those skill sets, right? You're like, okay, well, go do this training, do practice this, put in so many hours on this, equip this, and so on and so forth, and then your attribute goes up. You're now better
Right.
skilled in that area, and that's really life right there, right? You're like, dang, I got these attributes. This is what I got handed. This is where I'm weak. This is where I'm strong. So how do I do a whole lot of what I'm strong at, and at the same time put in the work to build up those attributes in the areas that I'm weak, so that I can be a well-rounded 99, 99, 99, 99, 99 on
That's
Madden or
right.
whatever
And
it
it's
is,
hard to
right?
be a 99 on everything in Madden or any of the games. But I remember, like, if you only get 100, it's like, all right, I want this guy to have agility and speed. He ain't got to be big.
Right.
You got to think in life, whatever you're intended to be, whatever the plan is, and you desire you want to be, you have skills that you have to, like, the great have to get greater, right? The good
Yeah.
have to get better. I'm a big believer of, if you want to go deep, you don't want to go wide. And I learned that in business, building, 4 companies from the ground up, and the last one being $1 billion business. I had to learn as I went, and I was like, dude, I'm not great at everything. I'm great at like 4 things, and I'm good at like 4 things. And then I hire people that are great at other things so I can surround myself with a great team, because there's
totally.
things that I'm not great at. And the moment that people check their ego and they understand that, it's also easier to A, not hate, and B, believe in what you are great at is important, and equally important of what somebody else is great at. And that together is a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt.
So
Hate. And a lot of this, Jason, is it's so programmed, man. Like, anytime I meet anyone that's still in that space, right? I just feel bad for them, because I know that it's a learned behavior, bro. It's a learned, all of this stuff, man. It's programming, right? Society has been so programmed. I was so programmed,
Yeah.
right? By my parents, by my environment, by teachers, by mentors, like everything. It's all BS, dude. I'm learning more and more. It's all crap. Everything you've ever been taught is nonsense, right? Doesn't
Right.
make any sense. And they're showing that, right? They taught us there was 9 planets. Do you remember being taught in school?
Oh my gosh, yes. The Pluto was the only planet. It didn't go outside of this, and that's
Yeah.
it. Now it's like,
There was 9 planets. Now they're saying there's like 1 million just in our galaxy alone or something. I'm like, at what point do you guys print a retraction, like an apology? Hey, we apologize for making you study for 12 years of school, believing something that we just assumed, because really the reality was we didn't have the technology to see past that. Right. And that's happening more and more and more and more and more stuff they taught us. And I'm just realizing, man, it's all so much crap. We're all a part of this dang system. Right.
Yeah.
And it was created, a lot of it in the revolutionary period, 1920s, man, when these freaking guys started putting these factories together and lining people up, and they said, hey, I'll make you a deal, Jason. I'll make you a deal, buddy. All right. So here's how it's going to look. From 1 to 18, we're going to let you go to like school and learn. Okay. You kind of get some freedom. You get to do recess, that kind of stuff. Then from 18 to 65, bro, from 18 to 65, I'm going to have you work with me. I'm going to make sure you got no health problems, right? You'll have health insurance. And then you're going to have a 401k so you can retire. And then when you're weak and you're feeble and we've done work the crap out of you, that's not how they sold it. But when you're weak and feeble, we work the crap out of you, then we're going to give you enough money where you'll be able to live for the next at least 15 years. But you ain't going to be able to do crap because your body's broken and busted because we tore you to shreds, right? And they sold it as the American dream. Go buy a house, take out a bunch of debt, right? You can't get a house unless you've got the job. You have to be on the job at least 2 years. It's all systems. And I'm like, damn. So I feel bad when I see people still stuck in the matrix, because I know it's not their fault, man. It's not their fault, right? It's just, ugh.
it's horrible.
Man, in my 20s, I thought I knew everything. In my 30s, I realized I know some things. Now I'm in my 40s and I realize I know nothing.
I'm in my 40s and I'm realizing that too, which brings me to, you talk about AI. You're a big fan of AI. I'm a big fan of AI too. So talk about some of the experience of what you've been doing with AI, and that you're getting ready to do a class or teach some folks on it.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with it, man. It's so cool. So cool in so many ways. My daughter is 13 years old. Yesterday, they're homeschooled, so mom put them on summer starting last Thursday. So I bring them to work with me a couple days a week so they can be in this environment, be around great people, learn, pick up whatever they can pick up, right?
Yeah.
And so yesterday, my 13-year-old went into my archive. I've got 1.9 terabytes of video in my Dropbox, dude. It's a ridiculous amount of video, right? For over the last decade. And so, and a ton of it's just dusty. It's just been sitting in there. No one's ever seen it, ever, right? 90% of it, no one's ever seen. And so my daughter, my 13-year-old daughter, goes in, grabs an old file. It's an hour-long training, drops it into video.ai. Video.ai immediately cuts it into 30 tiny pieces of content. My 13-year-old goes in, reads the captions, makes sure they match. She trims the video a little bit on each end, downloads it, re-uploads it into a Dropbox file. She made 15 reels yesterday. At 13, had never seen a reel, never edited a video, never done anything like that in her entire life. She did 15 of them yesterday, bro.
Wow.
Because of this AI tool that makes it so easy, man. So And what I love about it is not only is artificial intelligence making a lot of things faster and easier, but it's challenging my thinking more than ever before. How do you ask it the right questions? How do you apply these tools the right way? Like, I'm thinking more now than I ever was before the AI tools. And that's what I love about it. A lot of people are like, it's replacing our thinking and it's making us lazy. It's the opposite. You have to get really creative to be able to figure out how to use these things. I
use it for all my posts. So I'll film a video on the way to school talking to the kids or whatever, and then I'll say, I mean, because I use it for everything, and I'll put in there, I need a post for Instagram and TikTok. Let's keep it brief. Add in emojis. Here's the video I clipped. It talks about blah, blah, blah. I want you to make sure you do a call to action for my podcast, do a call to action for my coaching. Make sure you mention, you do it in a humorous, confident tone. Go. Boom, spits it out. Cut and paste. And then I'm using also, I think I tried that same app that does what you said. I took a link, stuck it in there. I did that like last week. I was like, this is amazing. Now I took a whole entire course that I've been asking it and I've been giving it my experience. Go to my website, check my experience. So I built a whole course on like digital branding with my experience. And then I took a sliver of my podcast and I put it in another app. It mirrored my voice. It cloned my voice. And then now it did the entire course for me. So now I'm going to film today parts of the course that I'm going to get down and dirty in, where it'll be me live. But other than that, it'll be all videos and AI voice over to offer a course. Like, it's like, this is crazy, the things it can do. And it just makes me think, like, what else can I have it do? And I'm having it work with a couple athletes that I coach. You know, I'm teaching them how to use it so they can brand themselves and brand the products that they invest in. And so it's helping them. It's helping them get a call to action. It's helping them give, blogs. It's all these things. It's just amazing.
It really is amazing. And I read somewhere, heard somewhere a long time ago that if you spend 18 minutes a day on learning any skill, craft, technique, language, whatever, if you spend 18 minutes a day for 12 months, you will be better than 95% of the world at that particular thing, right? That particular activity. And so I committed probably 3 months ago. I said, I'm going to spend at least 18 minutes a day playing around with AI tools. And then I went to my team and I inspired, I like that word instead of required, but I inspired my team to spend 18 minutes a day playing with AI tools. And then they bring AI tools to the table, right? So I'm in there, and then I got 15 employees. They're all in there. And the goal is 12 months from now to be ahead of 95% of the businesses in the world when it comes to understanding AI technology. And part of doing that is to teach it. When I know I have to teach it, I become a better student, right? We all do. If you know you got to teach something, you take it more seriously. And so we're holding workshops here so that I can teach it, so that I have to be a better student to fully understand it. and to be able to add value into our community. We're inviting all the local small businesses in. We're doing a free workshop. They can just come in, spend time in my office, which adds energy into my office space, which I love. Creates good frequencies out there in the community. People are cheering for us, right? So there's so many things. Like if you just take the time to learn some of the pieces. And what's so cool about this thing, Jayson, oh my gosh, dude. Did you see Alex Hermosi break down like the best ad in the world of how it works? Like, have you seen that guy? You know Alex Hermosi?
I know who he is, but I haven't seen it. What's the ad? I'm gonna have to pull that up. I'm gonna have to.
So he breaks this down, and he says there's basically 4 components. Okay, 4 components to the perfect ideal ad. And component 1 is you tap into the dream. Whatever the dream is for the customer. Maybe the dream is that they don't have to worry about their accounting. Maybe the dream is that they want to travel. Maybe their dream is that they need to hire 3 people. Like whatever result they're trying to get, right? So you have the dream. You tap into the dream, whatever the dream is. Then you display that your product or whatever it is that you're selling solves that, right? We'll get them that result, but you have to be able to prove it, right? Because we want to be able to trust you. I need to be able to trust that whatever you have is going to get me to that dream. So the ad taps into the dream, and then it uses some sort of demonstration to gain trust. Okay. Then
like credibility, like something that shows that. Yeah, got it.
Yeah, something that shows that I've already done it. Here's the results. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Then in the bottom left corner, so he's got it like this, right? 4 corners. In the bottom left corner is time. I want you to solve my problem as fast as humanly possible, right? Nobody wants it to be a long time. We want it to be short time. And then the bottom right corner is like effort, very little effort. Okay. So the perfect ad, for example, this is why people will pay $16,000 for liposuction, but they won't pay $39 a month for a gym membership. Okay. So the dream is I want to be skinny.
Yeah.
A gym can show me before and after pictures, but it's going to be like 180 days in between pictures or a year in between pictures, right? It's going to be a long period of time. And then it's going to say, it's going to take you a long time and you're going to have to put a lot of effort. Sign up for $39 a month. You're like, that sucks, man. I got to put in time, effort, and it might or might not work. I don't even know if it's going to work, right? That's why gym memberships, but for the lipo, they're like, you want to get skinny. Here's Tom at 10 a.m. and here's Tom at 4 p.m. Tom is now 80 pounds lighter 6 hours later. It takes no time at all and very, very little energy. Like Tom just went to sleep and woke up 80 pounds lighter.
Oh my God.
Price $16,000.
I'm in.
And people pay it all day long. They won't pay the 39. They'll pay the 16. What's cool about AI, dude? Here's the dream. I want to be able to edit 15 video reels in a day versus 15 over a period of 2 weeks. I want to be able to do that in a day. That's the dream. Okay, well, here's a tool and here's how you use it. Look, take this, download this, plop it in, boop. Like you can literally show it working in 15 seconds, right? Time, none. Effort and energy, 0. So AI fits the box of the ideal like ad. And so that's why it's like so exciting right now that if you can become an authority in that, you can use that formula to add value into people's lives with the tool. It's not even your tool. You're showing someone else how to use the tool, but they associate that with they're so grateful for you because you helped solve their problem, showed them they could do it, inspired them to, and you did it in very little time with very little effort. You literally can display it, right? I can go to 11labs.io. I can take my voice, put it in there, have it be cloned, and immediately have
we
an
use the same stuff, dude. We use
Yeah,
the same
right?
apps.
Right.
And you know what? 99% of the world's not using it.
I know. They're scared to death of it.
Like, I'm like, dude, like I could help your business in just a 30-minute phone call about AI. Your whole business would change.
Yes.
And people don't get that, dude.
People don't get it, and that's why we're holding the courses. I had one lady reach out, and she's like, "Man, I'm in the psychotherapy space, and so on and so forth. I just don't see how this can help me. And to be honest, I'm quite scared because it's all about personal one-on-one relationships and da da da." And I'm like, "Ma'am, I am so grateful that you and 98% of the world feel the same way. I'm grateful for that because I know." That means I have a tremendous opportunity to go out and help a whole lot of people because they're not going to do it themselves. If I can show them and make it easy how they can apply it in their business, they're going to associate their business growth with me, which is ultimately going to benefit me, my business, my family, my community, all the things. So I'm all in, pushing the chips, all in, bro. It's such an amazing opportunity.
It is. Well, hey, if you ever want to collaborate on some AI courses or classes, let me know, dude, because I'm all in on it too. I love it. It's exciting. And, helping some of these business folks out to do that. Individuals, real estate agents, anybody, they've got to learn to do it. And so I think there's a big, long play here for a while till people get acclimated. It's like when social media first came out, there were experts on it that were crushing it, building their name, building their brand, where other people are like, how do I do that? How do I do that? How do I do that? I think it's going to be similar like that for a while, and people are going to have to figure that out. So getting in front of it is good because then we can teach those others and serve those out there that need to learn it as well.
Yeah, and this ain't no fad, man. This ain't no NFT, bro. This is the real deal stuff.
This is the real deal. I agree 1,000%. And so, listen, that's all exciting. We got a couple things while we wrap up.
800%. Just
800%. That's right. 800%. 800%. I got to get the tattoo. I got Winnie the Pooh on my arm, but
let's go. Let's go, man.
The 800 sick, dude. That's great. I love that. I got BAM on mine though. I do have BAM on my arm. Yeah. Okay. So listen, so winning the speaking thing with Grant, you got some big things going on. Definitely let me know. I'd love to do something together down the road. And, I'd love to come on the Breakfast of Champions again, promote my brand as well. But congrats on winning that. And I will definitely share your name out there with some folks, for speaking events. But people need to find Glenn Lundy. They can find you where at right now? GlennLundy.com?
Yeah, just go to GlennLundy.com. Yeah.
And guys, that's with 2 N's, by the way. Okay, so it's GlennLundy.com with 2 N's.
Either way, buddy, I own them both. So either way,
that's a smart move, right? That's good business. they both come to you, so it's irrelevant. But
that's right.
Hey, listen, thank you for your inspiration and your motivation today and your knowledge and your wisdom and really helping people out there understand A, who you are, B, about taking it to the next level. And it's always fun to talk something new and exciting like AI. We both were up here just having a great time with it. Hopefully some of these listeners picked up some nuggets. They can go to these websites. They can go to these apps. They can follow you. They can join some of your courses and definitely check it out. So thank you, Glenn, for joining us here on the BAM podcast.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate you so much. Honored.
Thank you. BAM!